Have you ever wondered why some people manage to stay focused on their goals while you start excited and quit halfway through? The truth is harsh, but it needs to be said. Most people don't fail due to lack of talent, intelligence, or opportunities. They fail because they can't handle real discipline. And I know it hurts to hear this, but you've been through it, haven't you? That gym goal that lasted 2 weeks, that project left half finished, that dream that became just another broken promise. The samurai of feudal Japan faced death every day. They couldn't afford to give up when things got tough. And you know what kept them standing? It wasn't fleeting motivation. It wasn't pretty quotes. It was discipline forged in 7 ancestral principles that transformed ordinary men into unstoppable warriors. Today you're going to discover these 7 principles of samurai philosophy that can completely revolutionize your life. And I'll tell you a secret. The 5th principle is where almost everyone breaks. It's the exact point where most people give up without even realizing it. But what you're about to learn might surprise you, because it's not about having more willpower or waking up at 5 in the morning. If you identify with that feeling of starting projects excited but never finishing anything, if you're tired of promising yourself changes and not following through, then stick with me until the end, because you're going to learn how to apply the samurai mentality to your routine and finally become someone who finishes what they start. Let's begin with the first principle, and I guarantee that each one will resonate differently within you. But before we dive deep into these ancestral teachings, I need to ask you something that will make all the difference. If you really want to absorb this samurai mentality and transform your life, leave a comment now typing, "I choose discipline." It may seem simple, but did you know that every time you leave a comment like this, you're helping spread the teachings of Japanese philosophy to more people? The algorithm understands that this content is truly impacting lives, and this way, we can form an exclusive community focused on real transformation. So comment below "I choose discipline" and be part of this movement. And look, if you've made it this far and still haven't liked this video, I need to tell you something. This simple and free gesture makes YouTube understand that the content has value and deserves to reach more people who need this message. It's literally one click that costs you nothing, but makes all the difference, so more people discover these transformative principles. So leave your like now, because you're investing not only in your journey, but in thousands of other people's as well. And before continuing, check something for me. Are you already part of this path? If you're not subscribed to the channel yet, hit that subscribe button now, because the next videos are part of a complete series to forge discipline, strong mentality, and prepare you to enter 2026 on another level. Your participation here is what makes this channel grow and reach more people with this type of content that truly transforms lives. You're not just watching a video, you're building something bigger with me. Now yes, let's get to the 7 principles that separated samurai from ordinary men. And the first one goes straight to the wound, because it destroys the biggest lie they've told you about change and transformation. Principle 1. Discipline before motivation. You know what's the hidden truth no one tells you? Motivation is a comfortable lie. The samurai of feudal Japan didn't wait to feel like training with the sword. They didn't wake up every day excited to face the real possibility of dying in combat. Their motivation was unstable, just like yours. The difference is they understood something profound. Discipline is not a feeling, it's a decision. Let me tell you a real story. There was a young samurai named Musashi who, after losing his first battle, swore never again to depend on courage or willpower to act. He created a personal code: train with the sword every day at dawn, regardless of rain, cold, pain, or exhaustion. On days he woke up sick, he trained sitting down. On days with injuries, he trained with the other hand. His journey wasn't about feeling good, it was about doing what needed to be done. Period. And you? How many times have you skipped training because you didn't feel like it? How many projects have been stuck waiting for the day you feel inspired? Japanese philosophy teaches you something brutal. Whoever depends on motivation has already accepted failure, because motivation leaves at the first difficulty, the first rainy day, the first time you wake up tired. The modern application of this is simple, but not easy. It means training without desire, studying without excitement, working on your goal even when every fiber of your body wants to quit. It means acting despite the discomfort, because the samurai understood that discomfort is temporary, but the defeat of self-discipline is permanent. This first principle is the foundation of everything. Without it, the other 6 don't work. And now I want to go even deeper into this subject, because the second principle will show you something that few have the courage to face. Principle 2, emotional self-control in pressure situations. Now let's move to the second principle, and this one will reveal why you lose so many battles before they even begin. The samurai had a saying that went, "The true enemy is never in front of you, he's inside you." And this completely changes the game when you truly understand it. Think with me, how many times have you exploded in an argument and regretted it later? How many impulsive decisions have you made driven by anger, fear, or anxiety? How many opportunities have you lost because you reacted instead of responded? Japanese philosophy teaches that mastering the mind comes before mastering the world, because a samurai who didn't control his emotions was dead before even drawing his sword. There's a powerful story about a master named Takwan who was provoked by an arrogant warrior in a public square. The warrior shouted insults, spat on the ground, and challenged Takwan to a duel. Everyone expected an explosive reaction, but Takwan simply closed his eyes, breathed deeply 3 times, and when he opened his eyes again, said calmly, "You came here to give me your inner peace. I don't accept that gift." The warrior, disconcerted by the absence of reaction, left humiliated by his own anger. This is the mental technique the samurai mastered, the conscious pause. Before any action, before any word, there was the breath. 3 deep breaths were enough to transform impulse into strategy, anger into clarity. And you can apply this today, right now. Parinto, that conflict with your boss, in that argument with someone you love, in that unfair criticism on social media, in that provocation that makes your blood boil. The hidden truth here is that the person who takes you out of your center has already won. Because when you lose emotional control, you give away power. The impact of this mentality on your life is brutal. You stop being reactive and become strategic. You stop being explosive and become unstoppable. Difficult decisions stop being made in the heat of the moment and become conscious choices that shape your destiny. But there's something even deeper happening here, and that's what prepares you for the third principle. Principle 3, brutal consistency in the basics. But there's something even deeper happening here, and that's what prepares you for the third principle. This one goes against everything the modern world sells you about success and transformation. Because the truth is, you don't need secret techniques, miraculous hacks, or magic formulas. You need something much more powerful and much more boring, brutal consistency in the basics. The samurai had a practice that seemed insane to outside observers. They would take a single sword movement and repeat it 1,000 times a day. Every single day, the same cut, the same angle, the same breath. While other warriors sought advanced techniques and impressive moves, the samurai perfected the basics until it became pure instinct. And you know what happened? On the battlefield, when the pressure was real and death was inches away, that simple movement repeated thousands of times saved lives. But here's the revelation few have the courage to accept. Most people give up precisely because they find the basics too simple. They want the advanced training routine but can't do 10 push-ups a day. They want to write a book but can't write 1 page a week. They want to build an empire but can't wake up at the same time every day. Japanese philosophy teaches, you that the basics done every day beats the extraordinary done sometimes. Let me give you a real example from your life. You know that drinking water, sleeping well and moving are fundamental. Everyone knows. But how many people do you know who do this religiously every day without exception? Very few. Because it's boring, it's basic, it has no glamour on social media. But it's exactly what separates those who transform their lives from those who just dream about transformation. The practical application of this principle is brutal in its simplicity. Create a minimum daily routine. A small habit, but absolutely non-negotiable. It could be 15 minutes of reading, it could be 100 words written, it could be a 10-minute walk. The size doesn't matter. What matters is relentless consistency. Because every day you maintain it, you're building a samurai mentality. Every day you break it, you're training quitting. And this is where the journey starts to get really interesting, because the fourth principle will show you something about sacrifice that no one has the courage to talk about. But before continuing, I need to tell you something. While I was preparing this video, I realized I had much more practical content about these principles than I could fit here. So I organized everything into material called The Path of Japanese Discipline. It's a direct, no-nonsense guide that will show you exactly how to transform your ordinary mind into a disciplined, focused and unshakable mind. This material teaches you practically how to act every day, even when motivation fails, even when fatigue weighs heavy, and even when no one is watching. How to eliminate procrastination once and for all, master unstable emotions, and build that silent consistency that shapes true winners. It's not about fleeting enthusiasm, it's about developing the mental power that sustains permanent results. More than 1 million copies have already been transformed by this ancestral method. If it makes sense to you, take a look at the material I left here in the description below. But I need to be honest. This content could be taken down at any time, so if it's useful to you, take advantage while it's still available. I might take it down in the next few days. This material is complementary to what we're talking about here and can save you a lot of time in practice. Be part of this transformation too. Now yes, let's continue with the fourth principle. And this one will hurt your ego in a way you may have never felt before. But it's precisely this pain that separates those who grow from those who've been stagnant for years. Principle 4. Total responsibility without excuses. In the Bushido code, which governed the lives of samurai, there was a brutal and non-negotiable rule. The error is always yours. Always. It doesn't matter if it rained on battle day. It doesn't matter if the sword was rusty. It doesn't matter if the enemy was stronger. If you failed, the responsibility was yours, period. And you know why? Because victimhood doesn't build warriors, it builds chronic losers. There's a devastating story about a young samurai named Hideaki who lost an important duel and returned to his master expecting consolation. He began to explain. The sun was in his eyes, the terrain was uneven, his opponent used an unfair technique. The master listened in silence and then said just one phrase that changed the boy's life. While you explain yourself, another man evolves. Hideaki never made an excuse again in his life. He understood that every second spent justifying an error was a second stolen from learning. And you? How many times this week have you blamed traffic, your boss, the economy, the system, luck, or anything else for being where you are? The hidden truth is that while you blame external factors, you give your power to them. You become hostage to circumstances, slave to excuses, prisoner of a script you yourself wrote, where you are the eternal victim. Japanese philosophy challenges you with something radical. Stop blaming the weather, others, the past. Assume that if something went wrong in your life, there's at least one decision of yours that contributed to it. Not for you to blame yourself and sink into self-pity, but for you to regain control. Because if the error was yours, the solution is also in your hands. If the responsibility is yours, the power to change also is. The impact of this mentality is transformative. You stop complaining and start adjusting. You stop explaining yourself and start evolving. You stop waiting for the world to change and change yourself. This is the most difficult decision you'll make because it requires emotional maturity that few possess. But when you embrace this principle, something powerful happens. You become unstoppable. And it's exactly this transformation that prepares you for the fifth principle, the one I warned you about at the beginning. Comment there. I take ownership of my life if you're ready to stop blaming and start truly evolving. Principle 5. Accept discomfort as part of the path. Japanese philosophy has a devastating concept called gamen, which means enduring difficulty with dignity. The samurai didn't seek comfort, they sought growth. And these two things are completely opposite. You can't grow and stay comfortable at the same time. It's impossible. Discomfort is not a sign that you're on the wrong path. It's confirmation that you're advancing. Let me tell you something that will change your perspective. There was a samurai initiation ritual where the young warrior needed to meditate under a freezing waterfall for hours. It wasn't torture, it was mental training. The body screamed to get out, the mind begged for relief. But the samurai learned something essential. Discomfort doesn't kill you, it forges you. Every second under that cold water was a victory over the weak part of the mind that wants to quit at the first difficulty. And you know where you're breaking right now in your life exactly at this point. You start the diet, and in the first week of hunger, you quit. You start training, and at the first muscle pain, you abandon it. You start the project, and at the first negative feedback, you throw it all away. Because you've been conditioned to believe that discomfort means error. But the hidden truth is brutal. Whoever flees from discomfort flees from their own evolution. Most people give up here because it hurts, because it's tiring, because it takes time. They expect quick transformation, immediate results, victories without battle. But the samurai understood that the journey was long and painful and still continued. Not because he was a masochist, but because he knew that on the other side of discomfort was the version of himself worth becoming. The practical application of this principle goes against everything you've learned about modern self-care. Stop running from pain. When training gets difficult, continue. When studying gets boring, persist. When the project seems impossible, insist. Every moment of discomfort you endure with dignity is a brick in building your unshakable mentality. But there's something even deeper that needs to happen for this transformation to be complete. Comment there, I embrace discomfort, if you understood that growth and comfort don't go together. But there's something even deeper that needs to happen for this transformation to be complete. And that's what we're going to talk about now. Principle 6. Silence, focus, and energy economy. The samurai had a striking characteristic that bothered their enemies. They spoke little and acted much. While other warriors boasted of their achievements, verbally threatened their opponents, and wasted energy on empty words, the samurai remained silent. And this silence wasn't shyness, it was strategy. Because Japanese philosophy understands something you haven't realized yet. Every unnecessary word is energy stolen from your execution. There's a fascinating story about Miyamoto Musashi, considered the greatest swordsman in Japan. In his final years, he wrote that he won more than 60 mortal duels and never publicly announced his victories. While his adversaries arrived talking loudly, showing off, explaining their techniques, Musashi observed in silence. And when the battle began, the difference was obvious. Whoever talked too much had less energy to fight. Now think about your life. How many times have you announced your plans to everyone and then not followed through? How many hours do you spend complaining about the situation instead of changing it? How much time do you waste comparing yourself to others on social media instead of focusing on your own path? All that energy wasted on complaining, comparing, and explaining could be invested in real action, concrete results, genuine transformation. The hidden truth here is brutal. Silence disciplines the mind. When you stop verbalizing every thought, every plan, every idea, something powerful happens. Your mind organizes itself, your focus intensifies, your energy concentrates. You stop being that person who only talks and never does, and become the one who executes in silence and surprises with results. The practical application of this principle requires maturity. Focus on one thing at a time. Cut distractions mercilessly. Stop telling your plans and start showing your results. Fewer stories announcing changes, more real changes. Fewer motivational posts, more silent discipline. The impact of this on your journey is immense, because you recover all that energy that was leaking in useless conversations and direct it to what really matters. And now we arrive at the 7th and final principle, the one that ties everything together, and that might be the most powerful of all, because without this one, all the others crumble. Principle 7. Honor your own commitments. In the Bushido code, honor was more important than life itself. A samurai preferred to die than break his word. But there's something few realize. The greatest break of honor wasn't with the feudal lord, with family, or with the clan. The greatest break of honor was with oneself. Because a man who doesn't keep what he promises himself can't be trustworthy to anyone. Let me show you something devastating that's happening to you right now. Every time you promise to wake up early and don't. Every time you say you'll start Monday and don't. Every time you swear this time will be different and stay the same. You're destroying something precious, your internal trust. Small broken promises seem harmless, but they corrode your identity silently and brutally. There's a powerful story about a young samurai who went to his master, saying he wanted to become the best warrior in Japan. The master looked into his eyes and asked, "Can you promise you'll wake up at the same time every day this week?" The young man confidently answered, "Yes." A week later, he returned ashamed. He had failed on the 3rd day. The master then said, "How will you trust yourself to win a mortal battle if you don't trust yourself even to wake up?" Japanese philosophy teaches you that building discipline is building internal trust. Every promise kept is a brick in the foundation of your identity. Every broken promise is a crack in that same foundation. And over time, you either build an unshakable foundation or live on ruins that collapse under any pressure. The practical application of this principle is counterintuitive. Make smaller promises, not bigger ones. Establish realistic goals you can fulfill. It's better to promise to read 5 pages a day and keep it than to promise to read 1 book a week and break it. Because what matters isn't the size of the promise, it's the consistency of keeping it. Whoever doesn't honor their own word doesn't trust themselves. The moral lesson. Let's be completely honest here. Samurai discipline wasn't created to be comfortable. It wasn't designed to make you feel good, to feed your ego, or to get you likes on social media. It was created to form strong men when no one is watching, to build character in the shadows, away from applause, distant from external validation. The samurai lived these principles in complete anonymity, knowing that most of their internal battles would never be recognized by anyone. And that's exactly where the hardest truth of this entire video lies. The question isn't whether these principles work. They work. Thousands of years of history prove it. The real question, the one you need to answer right now looking in the mirror, is, can you handle living by them? Because it's one thing to watch this video, feel that impulse of motivation and think, yes, I'm going to change. It's something completely different to wake up tomorrow morning, without motivation, without an audience, without anyone demanding from you, and still do what needs to be done. Japanese. Philosophy challenges you with something brutal. Real transformation doesn't happen in moments of excitement. It happens in moments of boredom, fatigue, loneliness, when you're alone with your choices and no one will know if you gave up. It's there, in that invisible moment, that you decide who you really are. Not in the motivational speech, not in the New Year's promise, but on the cold Monday at 5 in the morning when the alarm goes off and you need to choose between the person you want to be and the person you've always been. These 7 principles aren't philosophical theory for academic discussion. They're mental warfare tools to build an unshakable identity. Their impact on your life depends on a decision only you can make. Apply or just admire. Most admire. The few who apply transform their lives irreversibly. Conclusion. And now I need to ask you a question that will define what happens from here. You made it to the end of this video, which already puts you in a minority. Most give up halfway, go back to TikTok, look for the next empty entertainment. But you stayed, and that says something about you. If this content made sense to you, if these principles resonated somehow, then subscribe to the channel now. Because this isn't just another cheap motivation channel. We're building a community of people who really want to transform themselves, who understand that discipline is more important than talent, who are willing to do the hard work when no one is watching. And look, if you managed to absorb everything we talked about here, leave a comment writing Samurai 2026. I want to know how many people really made it here and are ready to apply these teachings. This comment will show me who's truly committed. And of course, if this video added something to your journey, if you felt it was worth every minute, leave that like. Because that way, you help this content reach more people who also need this transformation. Now, there's a video here on the side that complements this subject and will show you how to apply these principles in practice day to day without abstract philosophy. Click there and continue with me, because the journey is just beginning. See you there.